Hello and a warm welcome to the Successful Garden Design Show. This is episode number 50, and in this episode I'm going to celebrate our 16th anniversary of teaching garden design online. And in this episode we're going to look back at a few of our students' success stories, and I'm also going to give you a tour of my garden as the planting's just over a year old now. If you're frustrated your garden doesn't look as beautiful as it could, even though you've purchased lots of lovely plants, then help is at hand. Plants are not enough. You have to have a good design layout. And when you combine design with the beauty of plants, that's when the magic really happens. It's our mission here at Successful Garden Design to show you how to do it. And it's much easier than you may think. I'm Rachel Matthews, and I've been a professional international garden designer for over 30 years, and I teach garden design online. So I've created a page with a selection of our student results. So these are people who had no previous garden design experience. This garden is in Canada and it was from Ingrid, and she was 68 when she did the course, and she designed and built the garden. And we also had Sam's garden, and she had very little experience, but she's actually gone on to do garden design professionally, and she's even become a Chelsea medal winner. And she created an absolutely stunning garden after doing the courses. So I will link to this page so that you can go through them all at your leisure, because I've covered them in the previous video, episode 40, where we go through them in a lot more detail. And then you can see each one at your leisure on the results page of the website as well. As you can see, we've had some absolutely stunning gardens, and it's so rewarding for me to see what people can come up with after doing our courses. And if you'd like to do one of the courses to celebrate our 16-year anniversary, there is a sale on until Monday the 3rd of November. So grab yourself a bargain and create a gorgeous garden. Just head on over to successfulgardendesigner.com/16. So anyway, let's get on to what I've done in my own garden. And I must admit, I was so busy doing other things, even though I was quite quick building the garden, I didn't actually get around to doing the planting until last March. So let me give you an update and show you what's happened since then. So this was more of a budget makeover than anything, because I don't think I'll be living in this property long. I decided to make it as cheap as possible, so reutilised the existing paving and just did a really simple design. Now, had it been my all-time garden, I probably wouldn't have had a lawn, but I'm assuming it'll be a family that has this house after me and will need a lawn. And also I have a dog, so she needs a lawn as well. So that's how it looked last March. Dogs wrecked the lawn. So after planting, I disappeared off to Spain for a couple of months to pack up my parents' property. Fortunately, some good friends came over and kept the garden watered, and this is how it looked this time last year. So a surprising amount of growth, although there was a bit of an issue with the agapanthus. I was expecting them all to be blue, and most of them turned out white. They were a gift from my parents, so all of theirs were blue, so it was quite a surprise to end up with white. Anyway, in the end, I did swap them and put them in the front garden, and I've replaced them with some new blue ones because I wanted the continuity. I wanted the repeat planting with the colour, and I was trying to create a bit of a Pete Aldorf inspired design, and that's very difficult to do in a small space garden. So there's lots of grasses and herbaceous plants, and things are repeated. Now, Pete Aldorf plants in large blocks, so I wasn't really able to do that in a small space. So the best I could do was plant in smallish clumps, but have them repeated around the garden. So all in all, in its first few months, it did pretty well. But how has it done this year with all of that hot weather we had in the summer? Well, let me show you. So this is how it looked at the end of May. I had a lovely load of foxgloves and these allium purple sensation. I'd planted the bulbs, I think I got about 50, and I'd planted them throughout the garden. And then we've got the lavenders, that's the Papillon variety. And now, this isn't really Pete Aldorf, but I got somewhat seduced by roses. Now, this is Gertrude Jekyll, and this one is Sceptred Isle. And they're David Austin roses, and they looked wonderful in with all of the foxgloves and lavenders. And you can see this is probably beginning of June now because the um, alliums had gone over. Absolutely adore this grass. It's called Hordeum jubatum. And this beautiful grass in with the roses. And I must warn you about David Austin roses. They are very addictive. Once I'd got one, I've ended up filling the garden with them. You can see the foxgloves are really coming into their own here, and with the lavender. So this must be middle of June, I think, and also the steeper grasses in the background. So it was such a lovely mixture. So I'm really glad I tried to do a Pete Aldorf. And as you can see, I had a fabulous crop of plums this year as well. They were absolutely delicious. So the garden was pretty and productive. Loads of apples too. And I got some lovely eryngiums with the euphorbia in the background there. And it's such a nice mixture of grasses, especially when the sun just comes through all the planting. That's the Pete Aldorf inspiration. And this is a climbing rose, James Galway. Now this one, I've lost the blimmin' name tag. And it's a Peter Beals climbing rose. I think it was something like Purple Splendor. Now this one was called Oh Wow, which was the first thing I said when I saw it. Now moving gradually into autumn, we've got the agapanthus, the ones that I purchased to replace those white ones, and the acanthus I grew from seed, the bear's breeches, and that's James Galway again with the Arundodonax variegated grass. And the steeper grass, Steeper tenuissima, I'd actually cut back and it grew again. So I've had a double whammy from the steeper that's done so well. As you can see, those beautiful coloured blue agapanthus. And then finally, we end into the autumn with some perovskias, and they're doing wonderfully well. There you go, that's my garden planting update. And don't forget, if you'd like to take advantage of our 16-year anniversary sale, head on over to successfulgardendesigner.com/16. So until next time, take good care.